media, technology, and aviation. I will start with woodwork, electricity, metalwork, building construction, aviation, power, mechanics. The only area that I will not cover in technical area here is media technology. Hakuna difference between the technician wa lab na technician wa technical areas. There's no difference. Difference ni kadogo sana. I'll start with woodwork, but I'll start with basic things that you already know. Remember, you cannot work in the laboratory without learning about safety measures in the laboratory. You cannot work in the workshop without knowing about safety measures in the workshop. All of them are there. Let me start with the basic one. One of them is wearing protective gears, face shield or a face guard. Is this for protecting your eyes and face from any hazardous substances? In the lab, they also learn about hazardous substances. Ear muffs, used for protecting us from loud noise. Gas mask or respirator, used for protecting us from inhaling poisonous or toxic fumes. We have safety harness. A safety harness is used for protecting us if you are working on a raised platform kama watu wa Kenya Power. Safety gloves. Pia hii mnasoma kwa lab when you are dealing with corrosive substances. We have reflector jacket, reflector vest. They work the same. They are used for visibility to identify you are working on a certain area to prevent the accident from occurring. We have the overall, apron, and dust coat. This one is a dust coat. This one is overall, apron, ile wa pishi wanavaa. All of them, they are used for protecting our clothes from getting dust. Kwa pamoja hapo? Naendelea vizuri. Let me start with woodwork. In woodwork, they introduced about hardwood and softwood. Examples of hardwood and softwood. They also learn about conversion of timber. What is conversion of timber? This is a process of splitting this timber into small pieces for it to be ready for market. Una split, conversion, kukatakata kama kuni. We have different types of conversion of timber, through and through conversion, through. Why am I talking about this? Toothpicks zenye tunatumia. Which country are they made? They are made in China. Nataka kuniambia tuwezi tengeneza? Tunaweza. That's a challenge I've given you. It also challenge you. Why? I'm a Kenyan. Why can I not start a small farm about toothpicks? Hii shida ukiandika made in Kenya wa Kenya hata kumaini. Conversion of timber through and through. We have the plain sewing. Those are types of conversion of timber. From that, we talk about seasoning of timber. We have different types of seasoning. Let me explain what is seasoning. Seasoning, this is the process of removing that moisture from the timber so that it can last longer. We have two types of seasoning, natural seasoning and artificial seasoning. Natural seasoning, nikate hii mti kama hii, nipeleke pale, nje ikauke. Hiyo maji itoke. That is natural seasoning. Artificial seasoning is a process of applying chemicals. Ama paints. Are they in the lab? Bado kwa lab siko. Huyu anasema hapana. See, we are learning about different types of paints. Yes. Zingine zinatoka from that chemicals. Yes. When you want to mix some paints, you mix with oil, kerosene. Zingine zinamixiwa na maji. Yeah. I'm still in woodwork. In woodwork, they are learning about types of joint. We have three types of joint: widening joint, lengthening, and framing joint. For example, with me here I have a bed. We have different types of joint. Kama hii inakaa mkia ya samaki is called dovetail joint. Dovetail joint. We have task tenon joint, grooving joints. Those are different types of joints that they will be learning in senior school. They are also going to be learning about, in technical drawing, they will be learning about orthographic projection or oblique projection. Bado iko kwa lab? Sindio? Siko. They are just the same. Now we'll start with basic tools that they will be using in woodwork. One of the tools is a trial square. A trial square is used for measuring. It's also used for marking. It's also used for checking the levelness of the corners. A trial square. Another one is a spirit level. The spirit level is used for checking the levelness of the wall or the straightness of the wall. How does it work? Inside it we have the bubble and the spirit or the colored water. If this bubble is at the center, it means that thing is leveled or straight. We have different types of spirit level, but they work the same according to the work they do. This one is called torpedo spirit level, is used by electricians. This one is called aluminium spirit level, is used by plumbers, but they work the same. The difference is about the color code. Talking about the basic tools that we'll be using. This one is called a marking gauge. A marking gauge, how does it work? I have a tape measure, it's used for measuring also. I can measure according to the centimeter or millimeters I want. Then I knob it. Then I can mark my piece of wood. I mark. Marking gauge. I have another tool. This one is called a dot punch. A dot punch is used for marking on leathers and wood. We have a string which is also used for measuring. Nakumbuka nikiwa mdogo madhe ashainipima ati anibaia kiatu akikuja na rofi anapima kubwa kuliko hii. Ndio nilikuja kujua kumbe a string is used for measuring. So those are the basic tools that we'll be using in woodwork. We'll also be using what we call pencil, used for marking on wood. I give you 2 minutes to digest what I'm teaching. We go to electricity. I know the pressure might be becoming hotter and hotter, but I hope you are getting something. My encourage is you go and start technical areas and you be in charge. It's my wish. Unasaidia kidogo. These things are the same. Kijua moja inatumika. Also in woodwork they will be learning about electric machines, where they will be learning about circular saw. A circular saw is a machine that is used for cutting of timber. They will also be learning about power saw. We have bridle used for making of cars. Then we have another machine that they will be learning about. This one is called a planer, in which instead of using a planer for a start, they will be using a jack plane. A jack plane used for making surfaces of the wood to be straight and
smooth.
Let me go to electricity. In electricity, they will be learning about direct and alternating current. When I talk about direct current, for instance, when I connect this one without a cutout, that one is direct current. Why do we use cutout? Ni ya kukata moto kidogo, isikuwe direct. Like this one is single phase. Nikitumia load ya 3 phase, inachoma hiyo wiring yote. After that, we have the electric plan layout of electricity. You can see this is a meter box. This one is a meter box. Then you have LED lamp. These ones. Kwa pamoja, I said you have to draw. We draw so that you can do wiring. Electrical drawing system. After that, we have junction box. This one, DBS, the junction box. Then after that, we have the cutout. In pipes. Sana sana siku hizi tunatumia pipe. Kitambo tulikuwa tunatumia hii. But this one it has some disadvantages. Why? Imagine ukivuta waya sinafikia kwa mahali umechase. Si inaweza vurutwa kidogo na waya ipate some shortage, which can cause death. So they use this one. If you don't have that one, you can use a trunket. This one ni wakati umefanya wiring kati vikabu nataka kukaeka hapa, lakini wiring haiko imefika. Si lazima ufiche. Unaweka. When you want to cut those thing I'll talk more about when you go to tools. We have the fluorescent bar. This one is my fluorescent bar. Remember in physics they are doing about parallel and series connection. This one is parallel connection, this one is series connection. Kuna lab hapo? Ati hakuna lab. Nataka nikisema kitu inaiwana na lab nikiuliza si iko? Wewe mtu wa lab na technical tuko pamoja. Tumeiva. You see this one? Consumer control unit. Same one. Tuko pamoja. Another one. After that, we have different types of switch. We have the cooker switch, this one. The shower switch, this one. Hapa chini. Kama nionyeshe na hii. Something that is not connected. This one. Shower switch. This one. They are just the same in different dimensions. We have the bells. They are learning about different types of the bells. Intermediate switch or alternating switch. Kwa stairs unataka kupanda utarudi uteremke. Pamoja. So we have the cooker switch. I've explained about the shower switch and everything. That one is electric plan layout. That's what they will be learning. They also be learning about oblique and orthographic projection. You have to do. And they will also be learning about what we call AutoCAD. AutoCAD, this is the process of drawing using computer. And they'll be drawing, and then they give out these blueprints in the last slides. And this one they were introduced in grade 8-9 visual programming in computer. Siati ni kitu mpya, nishasoma kidogo, agree. Tools that we will be using in electricity. Hii tunatumia kwa lab, ammeter. Used for measuring electric current. Ukisikia current, see, that is the flow of electricity. We also have a tester used for measuring the flow of electricity or current. We for voltmeter used for measuring voltage. We have a digital multimeter. A digital multimeter is used for measuring current, resistance, and voltage. We have different types of vernier calipers. This one is a digital one. Can measure my diameter. The inner one, the inner, the outer, and the depth. We also have the normal one. Here, kawaida. They work the same. This is the area mingi zinaingiana na vitu vya lab. I have another one. Sometimes you have to calculate the time you are using. This one is a stop. Another tool. Before I go to the other tools, let me talk about this one. So you want to cut a wire. We have different types of pliers. This one is called pliers cutter. This is for cutting of wires. After that, we have another pliers, the normal pliers. We call it combined pliers or Leissman pliers, which is used for holding and cutting of wires. Then we have another pliers called long nose pliers, which is used for holding and twisting of wires. For example, if you want to cut this conduit pipe, which tool am I going to use? I can use this one. It's also used in building and construction. This one is called a pipe cutter. A pipe cutter is used for cutting of synthetic pipe. PVC. What are synthetic pipe. These are man-made material that are made through chemical process. Si bado kuna lab hapo?
Yes.
For example, watu wa Kenya kwa kukata hizo wire gumu, they use a board cutter. Used for cutting of wires, boards and padlock. Sana sana wezi wanapenda kutumia hii. Zero error. Micrometer screw gauge used for measuring
Small diameters.
Small diameters. But currently we have the digital one, but due to calculation it's not advisable to use the digital one. Mtoto hataelewa the calculation about the zero errors. So that is about electricity, where they will be learning about ferrous and non-ferrous materials. What are ferrous materials or ferrous metals? Ferrous metal, these are metals that contain iron. Non-ferrous metal, these are metals that do not contain iron. Example, one of the example is copper, and that's why we use copper in making of electric cables. Copper moja hapo? Sawa sawa. I give you 2 minutes. We absorb. We go to metalwork. I know the pressure might be increasing, but I hope you are getting somewhere. When you talk about metalwork, they introduce about the layout of the workshop. How should the workshop look like? The display of the workshop. One of the things a workshop should have: ventilation, fire extinguishers, first aid kits, tables, and tools. They are learning about safety measures in the metalwork. In fact, this is the area that is the shortest in grade 10. Metalwork, they are also learning about ferrous and non-ferrous materials. They are also learning about magnetic and non-magnetic materials. In this area in metalwork, they are learning about fire techniques. And they are also learning about classes of fire. I'll start with the techniques and what it cuts. Sawa. For example, when I talk about the techniques, the method that we use to put out fire, they are running in metalwork. One of them is cooling method. I have my fire triangle with me here. When I talk about cooling, what am I cutting? Source of heat. The other techniques that we use is called interrupting method. Interrupting method, it covers all. Interrupting, this is the process of using chemical to put out fire, and this process we use fire extinguisher. As you know, we have different types of fire extinguisher. One of them is foam fire extinguisher, CO2 fire extinguisher. Watu wa lab, how can you make CO2 gas using locally available materials? We're talking about CBE, CBC. Natumia vitu zenye tunajua za kawaida. Just need vinegar, baking powder and water. You shake, after 10 to 15 minutes, utafungua itakuwa kama gas. That one is a CO2 gas. We have powder fire extinguisher, water fire extinguisher, foam fire extinguisher, CO2 fire extinguisher, wet chemical fire extinguisher, and dry chemical fire extinguisher. The other techniques is smoothing method. Smoothing, this is a process of covering that fire with sand or fire blanket. When you are doing smoothing, what are you cutting? Oxygen. Source of oxygen. Then the other source is called starving. Starving, this is a process of cutting the source of fire. When you are cutting the source of fire, what are you cutting? Fuel. Those are the techniques, the method that we use to put out fire. Let us talk about classes of fire. Class A contains solid materials. Class B, flammable liquid. Class C, flammable gases. Class D, metals. Class E, electrical appliances. Class K, stroke F, cooking oils. We start with class A. Which type of fire extinguisher do we use? For class A, we can use all types of fire extinguisher. CO2 fire extinguisher, water fire extinguisher, powder fire extinguisher, dry chemical fire extinguisher, wet chemical fire extinguisher. That one is class A. ordinary fire or solid material. Class B, flammable liquids. For flammable liquid, we don't use wet. For flammable liquid, we don't use water, but we use all types of fire extinguisher I have mentioned. Class C, flammable gases. We use all types of fire extinguisher apart from water fire extinguisher. Then we talk to class D. We talk about metals. When you talk about metal, we don't use something that is wet. Hata sahi ukimwagilia maji chuma, after sometimes what happens? Sita last. So that one we use dry chemical fire extinguisher, powder fire extinguisher, foam fire extinguisher. The same class in class E, electrical appliances. For class K stroke F, cooking oils. For cooking oil is advisable. The best method to use is smothering method, because hata ukitumia fire extinguisher bado kutakuwa na moshi. So you are creating one problem, solving another problem. The best method to use is smothering. You cover that. Pamoja?
Yes.
Yes. I know the pressure might be increasing, but we are somewhere. Let me talk about the basic tools that I did talk about when using metalwork. They are also covering about first aid. For example, in case of smoke, what are you supposed to do? We say hot air license. You need to close and rescue yourself. In case you have been burned by fire, you need to take 10 to 15 minutes tap running water to reduce the pain. Kwa pamoja? Yes, let's talk about something else. These are the basic tools that we will be using in metalwork. One of them is hacksaw. A hacksaw is used for cutting off metals and plastic. The other one is a tin snip, or a snip is used for cutting off iron sheet, mabati. The other one is a bench vise. For example, here I have a bench vise. This is my bench vise, which is used for holding my bench vise. The other tool I have explained, before, they are just the same. Don't want to leave anything. I think they are okay. After that, you will also be learning about oblique or autograph. Okay? I give you 2 minutes, you digest, you continue. We go to building and construction. The first building, they are learning about the history of the building. The first building was built in Egypt through the cave. After that, we came to the normal housing. Then we came to monolithic houses. Monolithic ni zile nyumba za matope. In this area, they will be learning about different types of foundation. As you can see, I have my blueprints. We have different types of foundation. We have pad foundation, pile foundation, strip foundation. The foundation. Before ujenge kuna zile types of foundation. They also be learning about boarding. What is boarding? See the boarding ya chemistry. Boarding, this is the process of arranging of those stones when you are building. We have different types of boarding: stretcher board, English board, and framing board. Those are different types of boarding. The material that we'll be using when using building and construction, we have a mortar. A mortar is a combination of water, sand, and cement. We have a concrete. A concrete is a combination of water, sand, cement, and ballast or aggregate. In that area, they will be learning about building services. We don't call this one plumbing when they are learning. They are called building services. In building services, they will be learning about elbow joint from my elbow, T joint from the T. Then we have the union. This one is a union. We have male and female union. We have sitting toilets. They call it that way, but when you are learning technical area, we call it water closet. This one is a sink, flushing systems. That's all what they've been learning in building and construction. After building and construction, we go to power mechanics. The teacher will take you where we have power mechanics. Also in power mechanics, they are learning about the history about cars, where they started. They are also learning about different types of engine, bodyworks, and different types of wheels. And they are also learning about the layout of the workshop and the common tools that we use in power mechanics. The common tools, they are also there in our workshop, the other workshop there outside. After that, let me talk about aviation. In aviation, they are also learning about the history of aircraft. They are also learning about the bodyworks, types of engine, and the common tools that we use. And they are also learning about safety measures in the workshop. Let us talk about innovation now. When I talk about innovation, I will start with this one. The water dispenser pressure increases with depth. Okay, then I have another one. When you learn about this one, mwenye amepitia hapa kwa nini yake as a lab technician afai kubuy dust pan. You just need a jerrycan, you cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. When you are cutting it at an angle of 45 degrees, you have defined about orthographic projection or oblique projection. As I finish, I want to show you how to use fire extinguisher. I hope you are using the best position. When using fire extinguisher, we just say pass. Pull, aim, squeeze, and swipe. Pass. You pull the pin, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, squeeze the lever, then swipe at the base of the fire. Water fire extinguisher. I am giving you 2 minutes for asking questions. My name is Munene, at Munene Review. Any comment? Wajua hata my role model anaitwa Donald Trump. Before he was elected the second term, alikuwa anauliza wanahabari, have I talked sense ama nimeongea nonsense? Wajua huwezi kujua. I think if you comment even one, I think, yeah, comment unataka. Ah, thank you. Yes. Out of 10. That's good.
I have a question. You've actually said that that is the fire that is caused by electricity cannot be. What is the mechanism behind that?
The mechanism behind that, for example, when you talk about, for example, you know this one? Say there is fire, okay? This one, don't use water because one thing, match electricity lakini maji inapiana. Hata saa hii shika maji wewe kuja ushika tu. Because in water we have oxygen. And oxygen support. Have I answered your question? Kuna swali nyingine? Si, okay.
Hii nitaituma kwa YouTube channel yangu.
Digital micrometer screw gauge we don't have. Sample of digital micrometer screw gauge we don't have. The only digital we have is for the vernier caliper. The digital vernier caliper. Why do I don't have the digital one? Because when you use the digital, remember you are a teacher of physics. How will you teach zero error? No, there is a calculation of a zero error. Can you teach a zero error calculation with the digital one? Have I answered your question? Yeah, we are purchasing. Yeah.
It's good to have one.
Yeah.
To confirm.
We have it.
Confirmation,
Yeah.
In fact, we have a big problem
Yeah.
when we want to identify the diameter of a micro wire as a lab technician. So we need that one to apply only for lab technicians to give out to the learner so that you are the one knowing that this is the diameter.
Yeah.
But it is now confidential to you and the teacher.
Actually, we shall purchase one because actually, what I've shown you, there are some of the things they are coming for senior school. Easy CEO at the senior school. There are other things more coming.
Question. Do you have a phone number?
Yes.
So we've come to the end of the virtual practical workshop.
You have talked about ferric material.
Not ferric.
Ferric material.
Ferrous, not ferric.
Ferrous material.
Ferrous and non-ferrous materials.
So what is the difference between ferrous and ferromagnetic materials?
Ferromagnetic, these are things that have some magnetism in them. They can be attracted to magnets. They have some intensive of being magnetized. You know, when you talk about magnetism, we also have magnetization. So, see me when I see you at Munene.
Otherwise, bye bye. Bye bye, viewers.